Hey guys and welcome to a new What If here. Today we are doing What If me, the person that made this channel, the person that narrates all the What Ifs on the channel so far. So yes, what if me, was sent into the Naruto world, part 1. Before we get into the What If, somewhat, I guess like normal, well, for one thing, so what if Naruto was turned into a girl by Kuma's chakra? That one's going to be uploaded either, I think, Friday. I think, I'm not sure what I'm going to do Wednesday. So I'm pretty sure that was going up Friday, this week, Friday. Well, at the end of the week. So, stop trying to get in a timeout when I'm going to do that one. If you want me to do a what if, ask me to do it or ask for a part. And for those who are wondering, will I do a part 3 to, or a next part 2, what if Naruto is in Ambu? Well, if you guys really want it, I'm going to instead somewhat remake it if you guys really want it, as that was was only meant to be kind of a somewhat quick and kind of easy one, which I didn't really want to pay too much attention to. But if you guys do really want it, I'll really put some thought into thinking how Naruto would get into the Anbu, or like the Anbu raised him, or something along those lines. And anyway, so yeah, I just wanted to say that. And also, of course, next week will be the continuation of part 7, 8 and 9 of What If Naruto Got a Second Chance by Azagao. So yes, with that out of the way, let's get into this, my what if, which is, well, you guys are probably going to learn maybe a decent amount about my own personality as a whole, and how I view the world as a whole, as everyone's obviously view on the world is different, and yes, that's what makes us different. Because if we were all the same, that would be a boring, lonely, well, maybe not lonely, but definitely boring world. Anyway, yeah, let's get into this one. So, the time on which I'll be also doing this, or at least when I'll be sent to whatever. Let's get into this. So, I'd wake up, I just had someone look about us and go, okay, white. Well, this is a unique dream. Don't think I've ever had one where I was just in a plain white room before. Though, no, I'm not in a room, I'm floating. I can't be dead, that would be an odd dream to have. As I then somewhat hear a voice, I can't exactly describe the voice, though it'd be maybe not exactly what you'd think of a godly voice, but a more kind of just kind of like voice that would bring your attention to a kind of soft but beautiful sounding voice that someone could never imagine on a somewhat like god, or a goddess is, as it would just simply say, well, hi Ben, I have called you here I've kind of called you here for a reason. As I look around and go, who's talking to me exactly? And, well, I'm presuming you're a god, as you know my name, because or you're one of the many people that randomly somehow know my name without me knowing. So there's the person then coming to existence has just somewhat blink as it well, yeah, I guess you guys can imagine a kind of godly figure. Yeah, I'll let you guys imagine what Kami would look like. As just go, my bad, I'm Kami, or well, you'd better know me as a goddess, not a god, but a goddess, female god. You go, okay, and because you use Kami, I'd presume like Naruto, World, Narutoverse, Naruto, yeah, Universe, whatever. So somewhat noddy. Yeah, I've kind of called you here, to hope that you'd somewhat kind of go to the Narutoverse, Naruto World, and I'd go, well, yeah, sure. Really, but you'd be leaving your family, your friends. I don't exactly have any, or if I do, they rarely talk to me. I'm practically, they're less friends and more just people I know. Is come you just go, oh, okay, but your family, your parents, your sister, your brother, they'll miss you. Your niece, your niece, your two nieces, your nephew. What about them? Well, what about your two nieces and the one that is not born yet? What about them, the ones that will never get to see you again? Yes, well, I will miss them, and miss them dearly I will, but there's probably a reason why I'm going to Naruto, why you've summoned me in particular, yeah? Oh, wow, you're somewhat just, well, yeah, you're somewhat just a kind of perfect match for that plus. Well, yeah, considering your kind of way of, well, not your exact way of life, but how you've been living, it kind of somewhat decided that you'd probably be better off, obviously, in the Naruto world, though that's if you want to, you don't have to say, yes, I already said I would go, or did you forget, stupid? Oh right, you did. No, well, so is there anything you'd like to change about yourself? Like maybe you'd like to be taller, stronger. Well, can you make me make you what? Well, well, not exactly make me, though I guess change, though I guess both would be considered correct, as you'd be changing / making it, so, just spit it out already. Well, fine, well, could you change me, turn me, make me into a girl? As you sure about that? Yes, I've very much since I was 3 years, 4, maybe even 2, 3, 4 years old. I know I can remember since I was 2, but yeah, like ever since I was young, I've always wanted to be a gal, and yeah, though you do, yes, I very much do know how babies are born and that, and well, yeah, anyway, should go out. Well, if you're gonna be a girl, then how about I turn you into an Uzumaki female instead? So blink you really? Well, yeah, or at least in my opinion, your somewhat way of life that you'd obviously very much put family first. You're a family oriented person. You somewhat obviously you love your family. You know, you'd put them before yourself. You'd die for your family. If it meant that your family, would be always obviously, happy, wealthy, none of them would say never into poverty, then obviously you're that type of person that you'd happily give your life away if that, well, I don't exactly know that if I'd go that far to, if my life meant that there'd never fall to poverty, I don't think I'd go that far, but at least I would give my life to save that as well. Just though I presume I'd just be female Uzumaki, red hair. Well, you can choose red. I guess red. The red gradient, or the reddishness of your hair. Can it be some way ruby red colour, somewhat on the slightly darker, well, kind of a nice ruby red with my eyes being a kind of silvery red colour. Also, kind of this silver which you guys can see, right now. That kind of silver eye colour. And just cameoed somewhat, just not so silver eye colour, ruby red hair. Well, I'll also somewhat grant you the Uzumaki Geki Genkai of the Antimantian chains that, well, I'd presume obviously you'd want to be in Konoha, but I'd presume you'd probably have to somehow get me that I can't just appear out of thin air. Well, you can appear kind of at the front gate, I guess. Though you don't have to worry. You'll be in Konoha when you wake up. Okay, but is there anything else you'd like to add before I send you on your way? Can I be sensor type? Well, all Uzumakis somewhat generally are, have the somewhat mind's eye of Kaguya, as it'd be quite useful, I find, especially as, can I think for a second before then going, sure, as, and then go, well then, if that's it, on the way you go, and next thing I know, I would somewhat see a nice blue sky and the ground coming at me, as I then rapidly somewhat look around and realise, no, I'm going to the ground, as I'd curse Cammy's name. Damn you, what's up with all these damn gods and loving the idea of sending them or dropping them from the sky? Seriously. As I then somewhat just whack into the ground, and also for those who are curious what I'm, or at least my now female counterpart is wearing, it would be on your screen, not Naruto. The gal one on the right side of your screen. Anyway, the gate guard would somewhat be a bit dumbfounded as a gal just literally fell from the sky out of nowhere from the sky. Well, they'd at least seen me fall from sky, so where I was coming from, they didn't exactly know, but yeah, and though the way I'd looked was almost similar to Kushner, so they'd had to almost have done a double check. And then they'd realised, no, that's very much not Kushner, and that, oh, she's not getting up. Oh, right, we should probably inform the Hokage and take her to the hospital. So, that's what they would do. One would call the, call for one of the Anbu station around the gate and tell them to go to the Hokage and tell them that a red-headed female had dropped from the sky in front of the gate and is now currently in the hospital. The Anbu would nod before vanishing in a leaf sunshine. Yeah, the gate. Then one of the gate guards would somewhat quickly take me to the hospital. And well, an hour or so later, and I'd start coming to, I'd somewhat open my eyes and look around as I just somewhat mildly go, that hurt. Damn it, I swear, if I ever meet Cammy again, I'm gonna whack her upside the head for just, like, come on, how hard is it to place someone on the damn ground, not, I don't know, 100 meters, 1,000 feet in the sky? Seriously, how damn hard is it? Can't be as hard as changing one's gender now and changing them from male to female to recreating their body so that they have chakra and is an Uzumaki full-blooded, and yeah, it can't be that hard for Kami, for crying out loud, just to plonk me on the ground safely and not send me whatever. Well, at least nobody's in the room to heard that rant. I should really think in my head. Anyway, oh, there's the mirror. Well, then somewhat perceived to get out of the bed and would realise that they'd put me in some way hospital gown, not knowing when I would obviously get up, be awake, so I would walk over to the mirror with the gown on and would see the ruby red, obviously, like the person looking back at me would be obviously young girls. I'd somewhat think as, at the time, I'd be 18, 19, either 18 or 19 years old, maybe even 17, and that I didn't even look at that. Heck, I didn't have breasts, so that was a clear obvious that I was very much younger than, then I was 18 years, so I'd somewhat close my eyes and would somewhat think, and though the first thing I'd realise, I don't have aphantasia, which is the inability to conjure up or think. That is the inability to voluntarily create mental images in one's mind. So, yeah. Voluntarily, so every so often. I would very much instead realise that I have hyperphantasia, the pretty much the ability to, it's the opposite. So aphantasia is the inability to create an image in your head. So if I said think of an apple if you can, you don't have aphantasia. If you can't, then you do. Though if the I'm assuming if the picture of an apple is extremely detailed, like a real life apple, then I'd presume you'd have hyperaphantasia, which is an extreme an extremely vivid mental image. That's what Google has on it. Well, Wikipedia does. That I'll leave. But you can somewhat read more about it in the description. Anyway, yeah, that would be obviously one thing I'd realise from closing my eyes. I very much could remember could picture my parents I could picture my parents for the first time. The pets I've had, the dogs I've had. I could imagine, and I'd somewhat just have a tear go out my eye, as I've never been able to really do that. Damn it. Yeah. And but yeah, as I'd still with my eyes somewhat shut, I'd try and think of how old I am, as I'd then somewhat go, so I'm 6 years old, huh? So, as I'd then somewhat realise, if I'm 6, then that would probably also then mean that, well, possibly Naruto may be 6 as well, or 5, though obviously remember that, Kami, it also stated that my birthday would be the same, that of the date, so just the 30th of the 3rd, or the 30th day of the third month being March, and of the 30th day. So, yes, anyway. With that, I'd somewhat walk back over, somewhat skin, still very much is somewhat creamy, kind of creamy, yeah. Creamy white kind of colour, yeah, on the creamy white scale, and I'd get back into somewhat bed, and I'd see bars, I'd go, and I would somewhat be able to obviously read the sign as I'd go, so it makes sense that should give me the ability to read their language and speak their language and understand their language, and that would probably be the better thing, yeah. So I'll hit the button, and a couple of seconds later, and a nurse would be at the door. Well, medicning, not nurse, but yeah, medicning would be at the door, and she'd go, miss, you're awake. So I'd go, that I am. I did press the bell. As the man would somewhat just nod and go, as I'd go, well, am I allowed to out, or what is like, well, firstly, let me check over you, though. Do you remember, like, your name when you're born? What were you doing? What I was doing, I don't exactly remember. The last one I remember is falling from the sky, before impacting the ground hard. So yeah, my name, as I'd close my eyes once again, as I'd then somewhat go, well, I'm Ruby Uzumaki. as the nurse would go wide-eyed at hearing the last name, Uzumaki, as obviously they knew, obviously Naruto was Kushina's obviously son, who both being Uzumakis. Obviously they knew that was a clan. They knew that medic nins would know that, and would be surprised a Uzumaki literally fell from the sky, and would just go wide-eyed and go, as not Karen speaking, as Miles is somewhat just dumbstruck, lost for words, and while continuing to speak would be somewhat not really great. They wouldn't hear it, it'd go through one ear and out the other. Though after a couple of seconds I'd get out of the bed and would wave my hand in front of her eyes as the medic nin wouldn't do anything else. I'd just somewhat silent slap her up. Well, I would somewhat slap her on the cheek as she'd snap back to reality and go, stay right here, I'm going to get the Hokage. Where else am I going to go? I don't even know heck where I am. You're in the village hidden in the leaves. You're in the hospital in Konohaguro here, or village hidden in the leaves. So I'd go, okay, so please just stay right here, and I'll go and get the leader, the Hokage. Let's go again. Where exactly am I going to go? I don't know this place. And she would just somewhat stare back at me as I would just stare at her as I'll go, well, are you going to get him, or are you just expecting him to puff out of, I don't know, appear beside you? Right, just stay here. As she'd run off and I'd go, for crying out loud, I don't know where I am. I'm not going to wander off for a place I don't know where I am. So I just end up sitting back on the bed and sighing and just annoyance. A couple minutes later, and there'd be a knock at the door as I'd shut the door. As I'd then say, come in, as the Hokage would be there. So I'd go, who exactly are you? As he'd kind of crack an eyebrow and go, well, that's somewhat impolite, I'm pretty sure. Yes, for me to introduce myself first before asking my name, though I'm pretty sure you already know my name, so there's zero point in, you probably already know my name, so there's 0 point in me telling you again my name. So go, well, you have a good point there. Well, Ruby, I am, the third Hokage of Konohaguro, the village hidden in the leaves. As I just go, do you have an actual name? That's your title, not a name. I can very much tell the difference between a name and a title as it go. My name is Huzen Sarutobi. Huh. Well, I'll just call you old man, because that's what you are. He'd somewhat chuckle, though you could somewhat hear from my voice that I was also somewhat kind of joking-ish. I wasn't 100% serious that yes I would, but in times of seriousness when anyway, he'd sit down on the bed as I just resigned him to just laying there up until the knock on the door had gotten up. So he'd go, so I hear that you're an Uzumaki, is that right? Well, yeah, I said that, and the nurse proceeded to just stand there for a solid minute. So I whacked upside the head and to snap out of a stupid daze. Like, how hard is it to believe I'm a Uzumaki? I've got red hair. Crying out loud, I'm a full-blooded Uzumaki. Both my parents were Uzumakis. Dude, they're dead, before you ask. And I can't really remember exactly what happened. The last thing I somewhat kind of remember is just telling me to run, get out of there, to run towards Konoha, and hopes that a person called Kushino Uzumaki is hopefully there alive. That hearing that name, he'd somewhat look a bit sad as I'd crack an eyebrow, as I'd go, I'm presuming that person is dead from the way you've reacted, and I also presume that this person, I presume female, meant a lot to you. Of course, I know who Kishima is, though. Yeah, I mean, well, not me and Toe, damn it. Here's him and just nod and go, well, I saw someone I like my own kind of like daughter. Yeah, whereas she never was my daughter. I somewhat saw her like that. As I just nod, I see. Though, how, if you don't mind telling me, how did she die? Of course I knew. So I'd think, as Susan would go, well, 6 years ago, the Kibino Yoko, or Kibino Kitsune, no, Kitsune is a fox, human fox hybrid. Somewhat stance of a human, though with a fox tail, or tails and fox ears, or a Yoko, meaning, or Kibino Yoko, meaning a fox spirit. Fox, well, yeah, you use decide on which terminology you want. Do you want it to be a spirit or an actual kitsune, human fox hybrid? Yeah. Anyway. Well, yeah, you'd obviously explain, and that the fourth had destroyed the fox being made out of, and obviously that the tail beast, them being 9 of them, and, well, yeah, it would someone explain what a tail beast was, and that they were made out of pure chakra. When I had asked what chakra was, he'd told me that it was like an energy inside of us that combined together with yin and yang, with our physical energy and spiritual energy combined together to make chakra. And that and he then asked me if I wanted to become a ninja, as I'd but obviously think about it. Well, not really, though. I'd obviously make it look like I was. And after 30 seconds, I'd say, yeah, sure. It sounds, yeah. And just say, yeah. He's with none and go, oh, you'd have to enroll into the academy then. I was like, I'm guessing it's already started. Well, yeah, you're somewhat, well, you're a bit behind, though in really history, well, you'd be behind in like history and, well, history and I think yesterday being Friday, today being Friday. would, yeah, you'd go, well, today being Friday, they'd just awoken their chakra. So you'd also need to somewhat awaken your chakra, but yeah, you should be, yeah, and I can, well, and Arbu can help you with that. And why can't you help me with that, old man? Oh, well, I've got well, annoying. I'd like to, but I've got paperwork to do, and that is, I just look at him and go, then can't you do something like make clones that can do the work for you? So you just look at me as you'd just blink as you then somewhat almost you shout out, so that's how you did it, Minato. That's how you managed to always get it done so fast. Damn you, damn yous. Why couldn't I have realised that until now? As I would just somewhat sweat drop at that. And the hidden armor in the room that I had sensed the immediate that Hiruzen had entered. And yeah, it was, well, and go, old man, are you okay? As he'd look at me as he'd go, thank you so much for telling me. I was like, okay, sure. I just somewhat look at one of the hidden armor and have the face of, like, help me, what do I do here? Oh yeah. Though the armor would feel somewhat confused. Could I sense it? Could I see it even? So yeah, it'd somewhat be a bit confused as Hiruzen would then rein in his emotion and then go, well, yeah, you'd go, well, because we'd somewhat find you outside the gates, and I have no recollection of a Ruby Uzumaki in the village. Do you exactly have an idea on, say, what type of, say, place you'd like to live in? So I think I'd go, well, if I'm going to be a ninja, I'd at least like a place with, like, a walk-in wardrobe. Like my bedroom to have a walk-in wardrobe. Should go, oh, and why is that? Well, so then for one, I could have say, like, my somewhat normal comfortable clothes maybe, and then my kind of like ninja clothing and ninja tools on one side, and my more comfortable clothes on the other. And yeah, here's a wind go, I see, as you'd think, the only apartments with walk-in wardrobes are from 2-bedroom apartments and upwards, though. She seems like a bright girl. She'd very much probably figure out what to do with her spare room in time. She'd look at me as you then go, well, why don't we somewhat get you, say, out of here, and we can talk more in my office? Okay, I'd just nod as he would then call in the somewhat nurse, which would come in and would go, well, is she fine to leave? As the nurse would then do whatever checks she needs to do, and then somewhat look at Hiruzen and go, yeah, she's fine to leave. As I'd go, what about clothes? I'm not going to walk out naked or just with this thing. Is she's like, your clothes came in over there on the desk. No, just nod as I'd somewhat walk over there. I'd stop as I'd go, as the nurse had somewhat left, though Houston was somewhat just kind of standing there, staring at me as I was like, are you going to leave? Like, leave through the door, as I am going to change. After all, I'm a gal. Or are you a pervert, and that much of a pervert that you enjoy watching a young child like me get naked? As he'd go wide-eyed, shake his head, would somewhat blush as well before heading out of the room as while he'd shut the door, though the arm in the room would still be there as I'd go, the hidden figures in my room, I know you're there. Do you mind leaving as well? Because I'm pretty sure, I'm not exactly willing to get naked in front of 4 hidden people in the room, as they would all go wide-eyed. For one would say, you can sense us. Well, obviously, I just told you to leave, didn't I? As the rest would somewhat sweat drop at the kind of the stupidity of the question as a whole, as they would then the door would then open again, as the Houston would somewhat crack an eyebrow, as then he'd realise, oh, oops, I forgot to tell the arm boot to leave, as 4 arm boot would come out of the room before the last one would shut the door, as I'd unclose my eyes and hone in kind of on the room. Sure, having the mindset of cargo was nice and all, but a 20-kilometre radius, that's a bit too much right now, so tone it down to just the building and specifically my room. So go, good, everyone's out. I then proceed to take off the thing top and put on the outfit that I'd fell from the sky with. And after putting that on and the sandals, I then open up the door again after 3 to 5 minutes. And with that, Houston would then put a hand on me and he'd send us to the tower. Once we were in his office on his, before he'd even sit down, he'd do a plus hand sign, and 3 of them would pop into existence. 1 to do the paperwork, 1 to go through all the somewhat current laws of Konoha, just to make sure the civilian and or ninja council haven't put in laws that he hadn't sanctioned himself. And the somewhat third one was to look at the apartments and find an apartment that would be suitable for me, for obviously what I had said. And he would somewhat gesture to sit down at the settee, and we both would, so for say, we'd sit down and we'd somewhat talk for a bit more so him, just kind of getting to know somewhat each other a bit more. And then and I'd go, well, are you gonna have one of your somewhat armbu look after me, because I have no idea, obviously, where I am, and that, and also, and who's a mid think about it for kind of seconds before going, as you then burn up and go, he'd put a hand on me as I'd look at him, though he'd then disappear again, though this time in a puff of smoke, and would reappear in a somewhere a field with 3 stubs in the ground, or poles, wooden poles or that in the ground. As I just somewhat stare at him as he'd go, we're currently in, this is a training ground where ninjas and or ninja trainees like you will train. Of course, these are somewhat open to the, academy students, so there are academy training grounds, though some somewhat prefer to use these, though these are more used for obviously like teams, so actual gaming. But anyway, I thought I'd bring you here as considering some of you in Uzumaki, and Uzumakis tend to have quite big and somewhat more denser reserves, and as such, awakening one's chakra in an office, in obviously an office too, can be quite bad. So I brought you out here and I was like, okay, and plus, should somewhat then kind of shout out Nako or Nico cat. Yeah. As an Ambu with a cat mask. Oh yeah, an Ambu wearing a cat mask with purple hair would appear as as a cat. From now on for at least a month, you'll be looking after Ruby Uzumaki here. Though she'll have somewhat her own apartment, though you're somewhat here to obviously show her about the place and that, and make sure she can cook, and that she's somewhat at least getting on in the academy, and that. Cat would just nod, and I would somewhat cuss in my mind as I'd go, shite. That'd mean I won't be able to learn Fenjutsu right now. Oh well, it was nice for Kami to at least show me the hand signs to open up the portal that is somewhat required to get to the Uzumaki library, as the Uzumaki library is held in a different dimension. No wonder why nobody could find it, isn't it? No wonder why nobody could find it when they charged, when they defeated the Uzumaki clan, as well. How could you find it if the library's in a different dimension and requires a set of hand seals that only very few knew of, and thankfully Kami obviously very much knew it, being the goddess of here. She knew it, and thus pretty much ingrained it into my memory, so that I would be able to very much do it and learn whatever I want to, and especially the history of the clan, and more obviously on the change and the Adamantium change, the Mind's Eye of Kaguya, and some other stuff. And yeah. And well, Hazelwood then somewhat tell me to sit down as I would. So I'd somewhat sit down with my legs crossed as you'd go. What I want you to do is close your eyes and feel for a somewhat warm feeling. Though you may also feel it. Well, yeah, so feel for a somewhat warmth, nice welcoming feeling. It may also feel like, a nice somewhat warmth feeling around your chest, your stomach and chest area. Okay, I'd just nod as I'd close my eyes and then somewhat start trying to feel for that thing he said, as there were a couple of minutes would go by as he'd go, and right, before I forget, don't worry if you don't get it your first try. Most people actually don't, and it can take them a week to actually awaken their chakra, so you don't really have to worry. And a couple of while an hour would go by, as then I'd somewhat feel a kind of odd feeling inside me, and an energy I didn't know existed. As I'd then kind of grab onto that odd feeling, and I'd somewhat not really knowing exactly what to do, would just yank on it. And before I knew it, I'd feel kind of a flood of that energy, like, yeah, I just felt like my entire somewhat world became a heck of a lot brighter, and feel like one with myself, like something had lifted from my eyes, or a weight from my shoulders, as I'd somewhat I'd slowly open my eyes, as I'd just see a dumbstruck old man, and both of them, and cat as well, both of them having their mouths pretty much on the floor, because he somewhat knew, obviously, due to the fact the Uzumakis had incredibly high level reserves. He knew that it'd take possibly a long time to try and obviously force that, or awaken it, or something else. So one thing he forgot was that Uzumakis are very closely linked with their chakra. As such, they have actually quite decent control over it. The reason why Naruto's control isn't that good is mainly because of the imbalance, as he's got more physical than spiritual. Well, his physical energy compared to his spiritual energy isn't, say, like 1-to-1 ratio. He's got more physical than spiritual energy, and yeah. Anyway, who's somewhat start me and dumbstruck, as I'd go, did I do something wrong? As he'd snap out of his stupidity, he'd go, no, you, I did, surprised. Very few, Ruby, very few get it on their first try. As I'd go, okay, so, can you now teach me that, teleport, that, thingy? You mean the ascension? Yeah, is that what it's called? And his image is somewhat nod, as he'd look at Cat, and Cat would say, Hokage-sama, it won't really do her any bad, and plus she can try and, plus obviously she'd need to firstly, as she'd somewhat gesture to a tree, and Hiruzen knew what she meant, and plus it obviously give his clones more time to look for an apartment, or 2 or 3 apartments. So it'd somewhat just nod and go, well, firstly, Ruby-chan, you're gonna have to somewhat learn to, say, properly control your chakra. Now that you've awakened it, or gained control over it, you're gonna need to now be able to learn how to use it. Before I'll teach you the ascension, which if you get this also down today, which it would be an impressive feat, but if you can, then yeah, I'll teach you how to do the ascension. I'd somewhat nod, and after that, would that mean that I get to see my place that I'll be living, and get some clothes, as I don't exactly just want to have this. As here's a somewhat just go, yeah. You'd somewhat just nod at, kind of realising, yeah, we would also have to go shopping to get food, obviously toiletry, toilet stuff, bathroom stuff, so yeah. Anyway, here's a minute, just go, my mind's going a mile a minute at right now, guys, so bear with me for a couple of seconds. You look at me and go, well, if you can master the, as it's actually, if you can master tree walking, and, if you can master tree walking before, say, midday, and also or at least, if you're able to, say, do tree walking and, say, by midday, then I'll teach you how to do the ascension. Okay? I would just go, okay, before start going to the tree though, I'd stop and go, how exactly? Yes. Chuck as he then explained to me how to do it. Somewhere at the channel, chuck to your feet. And that if you obviously reach out, no, send too much, I'd get blasted off, not enough, I'd slide off. I would somewhat nod as I'd lift my foot up onto the tree and place as I then would somewhat breathe in and out as I'd go. Well, as I somewhat need to act like a child around them for at least right now, I can at least use my brain power to at least properly get an understanding of my chakra. Though I know it'd be something like an energy, and yeah, I'd channel it. I'd somewhat as you'd explain to me how to channel it to my legs, as that's what I'd do. I'd imagine, I'd think of some like my legs, like say send him actually before that, as I just remembered, Cat would actually somewhat bonk who's Cat would say, firstly though, you'd need, Ruby, before you can walk up the tree, you're going to have to stick a leaf to your head. As I just go, you joking, right? Nope. Everyone has to be able to stick a leaf to the head before they can learn the more advanced chakra controlling techniques. As I'd just allow us like whine, but would just go okay. As I'd go over and somewhat pick a leaf, so would Hughes and then Cat would, Cat would somewhat just, Hughes would, not Cat's talk by his mask. Hughes would pick a leaf and would stick it to his head and would show me. Or, he'd remove his hand, and as I'd think, there's a couple ways I could possibly do it. I could either imagine a layer of chakra kind of around the leaf, holding it to my head, which it's possible that's what he's doing. Or I could imagine, say, trying to make my chakra make tendrils of chakra connecting to the leaf, so that it's like, so instead of making my chakra float around the leaf to stick it to my head, I'm actually holding it up with tendrils of chakra itself. So I'd then somewhat open my eye, whereas I'd then move my arm with the leaf in my hand to my head, and would somewhat push it slightly against my forehead so I know where it was, as I then imagine my somewhat chakra kind of flowing on top of it, and so I'd somewhat slightly lessen the pressure, as I could somewhat feel the chalk on my forehead take slightly more of the weight as I then remove my handle entirely, as Harrison and Cat would be surprised as I'd open up my eyes, as I'd go, did I do it right? As he would just somewhat nod a bit dumbfoundedly, as obviously even Kushin I'd find it incredibly hard considering how large the reserves were, and I just got it down easily. Heck, on my first try. So I'd go, so can I walk on tree now? As that somewhat would seem hope-wise. Here's and there would be this time to break my mood. As you'd go, sorry, no, there's one more step. As I'd go, what's that? Like, let it hover over my head and spin it, as you would just stare at me as I'd stare back. As he'd go, how did you know? As I'd go, as I'd just sigh and go, damn it. No, his cat was so much to sigh and go, Hokage-sama, I think she just was being rhetorical, that as he'd blink, as he'd just look at me, as I'd just go, cat's right there, cat ladies right there. As he was just sigh, as though I'd then somewhat feel for my chakra, as I'd then somewhat remember that Dryad said, like in one of the Naruto episodes, that Dryad mentioned obviously to Naruto that was chakra rotation, and I'd obviously chakra rotated throughout one's body, either clockwise or anti-clockwise. Clockwise went to your left, meaning or went anti-clockwise, so to your right, as I'd go, so I'd presume as though before, as I'd still somewhat channeling to my head, or and somewhat have my hands slightly out a bit, as I'd somewhat feel for my chakra, though I won't try and control it. I'll just feel for it and feel how it flows throughout my network, and once I've done that, I'll then channel chakra to my hands at the same time, and would feel which one does the chakra flow to first, and then which one it does. Though you'd have to be very sensitive. Well, no, you'd just be very good at sensing chakra, or your own chakra, having mind's eye of Kage, and being very obviously in that, having a 20-kilometer pinpoint range, very, very useful. So yeah, I'd somewhat channel chakra to my hands, and would feel it go to my left hand first, then my right, as I go, so my chakra spins clockwise. The reason why I'd want to know that is so that spinning the leaf, while spinning it, obviously the direction of my chakra flow would mean, it'd be easier. I wouldn't be fighting my chakra's natural want to rotate stuff, or want of rotation. No, I'd still try and make it go anti-clockwise first, and though I'd somewhat then remember I've got leaf still stuck to my head, as I then somewhat changed my technique from obviously having it like it was to channeling tendrils of chakra, as I then somewhat slowly, kind of shakily, get further and further up from my forehead, up until it'd be, say, maybe like say a centimetre and a half away from my forehead, which then I'd somewhat slowly make it spin anti-clockwise. As once again, Hiruzen and Cat or Nico would have their mouse on the floor at just how easy I'm getting it, and Hiruzen would somewhat be thinking, how is my chakra reserves just damn small, or are they massive and I've just got insane amount of control over them? Though in reality it would just be my somewhat preconceived on what chakra somewhat was, and that how it may possibly be able to interact with the environment, and as such I would have a somewhat better time channeling it, as obviously chakra exercises is to make you obviously more aware of your chakra and to build a more understanding of your chakra and how it flows throughout you and how it interacts with your environment. Understanding how it interacts with your environment, and that gives you a better control over it, I'd presume. Anyway, yeah. And so, yeah, and then somewhat stop it, and then I would let it spin clockwise, and then somewhat kind of imagine it spinning clockwise, and we just imagine it spinning as fast as I would imagine it spinning as fast as possible, as well it would pick up enough speed that I'd actually feel a slightly light breeze against my head, and before I'd know it, I'd open my eyes at seeing the leaf spinning so fast that the next thing I knew it would just blow apart. I'd just spin so fast that it just went by. It couldn't hold itself together, and it just ripped from the G-force. Yeah, from the G-forces that... Well, no, not from the G-force. It'd be from the... can't remember what it's called. Yeah, but yeah, the rotation was being too fast. That the G-forces at the edge wanting to rip it. I was wanting to force it apart, would rip it apart. Can't remember what it's called anyway. Yeah. I'd somewhat look at them and go, now can I walk on tree, or do I have to learn how to walk on water before walk tree? As Hiruzen would just go, no. Other way around, you can walk on tree. You have to walk on tree first before you walk on water. As I just go, okay, and Cat would somewhat snap out of her stupor as she'd somewhat just hear the tail end of what Hiruzen was saying, and would somewhat just sweat drop. This Cat would think, well, it seems like she'll be learning how to water walk as well. Yeah. Then Hiruzen would also snap out and realise what he said, and then just somewhat curse himself. But oh well. Though he'd somewhat also think, well, I'd learn it eventually better sooner than later. Yeah. So I'd put my leg... Well, yeah, I'd finally put my leg on the tree and would channel chakra to it, as I'd think, well... Yeah, of course, it was somewhat, explained to me that obviously sending too much, it would blow off, and sending too little, I'd slide off, which meant that it was somewhat, definitely not like a glue, because if I'd imagine my chakra acting like a glue, well, I'd somewhat just stick that, maybe suction cup. Or what else? Well, I guess I could use the tendril idea and have my chakra go through the tree, like somewhat tendrils, and that would give me a much firmer connection to the tree. So I'd start doing that as I'd then somewhat feel the chakra leave me, and somewhat using the mindset of Kagyu, I could see it kind of entering the tree from obviously a top-down perspective. And yeah, though if any Hugo calls the channel chakra to their eyes, if there were any around, they'd see the tree literally, or my chakra somewhat leaving me through my leg and kind of grown out into tendrils around somewhat inside the tree. So I'd then kind of shakily lift my other leg off. As I'd then shakily lift my left leg off the ground and put it on the tree, and then though my left leg slightly higher than my right, as I'd somewhat and slowly walk all the way up the tree though, and walk somewhat down, and Hizum would again be surprised. It's meant to be incredibly hard, and yet I seemingly got it down first try. Though I'd go, though seeing Hizum was in another one of his stupors, and Kat had somewhat had slightly grown to guess I'd probably do something like this again. I'd look at Kat and go, how exactly do say you do it? As Kat would go, what do you mean, Ruby-san? Well, firstly, just call me Ruby, and secondly, what I mean is, that how exactly do you imagine it? I kind of imagined it like tendrils out of my legs and going to the tree, and somewhat wrapping kind of like inside of the tree, like acting like anchor points. Though in reality I was somewhat actually imagining my chakra around the actual atoms of the tree itself. So the atoms that make up the tree, I'd imagined the chakra atoms. The atoms that made up the chakra wrapping somewhat around the atoms that make up the tree, but obviously somewhat not enough chakra atoms that that I'd end up just this like slicing off a chunk of the tree, like cutting off the connection to the atoms, and end up taking a chunk of the tree with it. It'd be thin enough so the connection to the other atoms that made up the tree could still obviously bond, but yeah, as Kat would then explain to me how they generally imagine it, and I then somewhat try it that way, and after a couple of seconds I was back up and down the tree doing that way, and though Kat would then ask me what's kind of the difference between how I somewhat did it and how they do it. And I'd somewhat well, your way of doing it is it allows you say fast movement, and though you're somewhat very weak to connect into the tree, and of course if you had somewhat bit too much more chakra to it, you get blown off, and if you had obviously not enough, you end up sliding off. My one difference is because it's more like tendrils, and you know that everything's kind of made up of kind of atoms in a way, right? As I've heard of it, but yeah. Well, my chakra, somewhat imagine my chakra wrapping somewhat around the atoms thin enough so that it doesn't I don't end up cutting like half the tree in half by accident. But it's thin enough so that it can wrap around, and I'm somewhat spreading it out enough throughout the tree that I'm somewhat connected to to like the entire tree. Like I'm somewhat, you could say, in a way, one with the tree, which means if I were to be hit, well, the thing that's most likely to happen is the tree to come with me and not me go without the tree. The tree's more likely to follow me through the air instead. As Cat would be quite surprised, and that was obviously a very, very good way of doing it. Though I'd continue to explain that. Whilst it is a good idea, whilst that my way of doing it is somewhat good, it's obviously a slow way of walking due to the fact, up vertical surfaces due to the fact of it. Sure, over time I can somewhat speed it up and maybe come with a way that makes somewhat acts as a massive somewhat circle, and that say each sort of thing, like the second I put like my leg on the tree, it connects with it instead of having to send chakra from my other leg to connect to the somewhat existing tendrils and then release the chakra, make truly sure as I'm releasing it that there's enough chakra flowing through my other leg to keep up the entire somewhat, say, kind of sub network I'd somewhat built in that tree, and then go up and up that way. As Cat would somewhat just nod slightly dumbfoundedly at that, though after 5 or so minutes both of them would kind of brains would restart, and I'd go, well, old man, are you gonna show me how to kind of disappear in puffs of smoke? And here's him with chuckle and would nod. Well, I did promise you, and it's not even midday yet, so yeah. And thus, with that, he would then show me how to do the sensing, and well, yeah, he'd show me the hand signs and then tell me to, obviously, when I'm doing it, channel chakra to it. As I'd somewhat just nod, as he'd also, as I'd ask somewhat what to imagine to get a better, to learn how to do it faster. And he was going to somewhat tell me to imagine where I want to be and preferably how far away I want to be from that object, as most people tend to imagine I'm near that object but never how close, and as such, well, they end up whacking into the object or being miles away from it. Then, yeah, I'd somewhat nod and remember, and I'd remembered walking from the tree to his, and I'd somewhat kind of subconsciously had counted all the steps I'd taken, which was around, say, 235, 236 steps from the tree to his, and it'd go out the tree you just walked up. Imagine yourself somewhat, say, next, say, to that, and maybe like a step or two away from it, and run through the hand signs and channel chakra. So I'd somewhat nod as I'd run through the hand signs, and would kind of send chakra from my hands as I'd then run through the hand signs again a second time. First time, just make sure I got them all down right. Yeah, so the second time I would nothing would exactly happen as it was, and go, you want to send more chakra to it. I would just nod, keep my eyes on, and run through the hand signs again before completely disappearing in a puff of smoke and reappearing 3 steps away from the tree, which is what I imagined. As I would open my eyes, as I'd somewhat have a big smile on my face, as I'd go, yes, So I did it, old man. Someone go, yeah, well, come back, as I'd somewhat nod as I'd run through the hand signs, I'd feel how my chakra molds inside of me as I'd then I'd stop I'd stop the hand signs as I'd then let my hands fall to my side as Hazen and Kat would look at me a bit puzzled as I then somewhat would kind of whisper out sunshine as I then disappear in a puff of smoke and would reappear. Well, say, like 30, say 60, 90 centimetres away. So I'm not close to them. Not close. Well, no, that would be close. I'd be a metre away, just make sure I didn't whack into them. Yeah. And heroism would just be speechless as Yugal would just, Cat, aka Yugal. Cat would just, would go, somewhat not really seem that surprised as I'd accessed my chakra control. I'd gained access to my chakra, or control over my chakra. I had learnt leaf sticking, leaf spinning and hovering, so leaf hovering and spinning, and tree walking and sunshine all within the same day. As I'd go, Gigi, old man, you there? Hey, old man, you there? And I go, it's not you did it without any hand signs. As I'd somewhat nod, I did. How? It generally takes people years, 2, 3, maybe even more years to learn how to do it without doing the hand signs for it. How did you? How? And so as I'd go, I just felt when I ran through the hand signs, I just felt how my chakra felt when I was running through the hand signs, and then proceeded to make it feel the same way when I did it without. And yeah, I got the same outcome as before. Seriously, someone just nod dumbfoundedly as I'd go, how about learn how to walk on water now as Cat and Cat with somewhat Husum and Cat would then take me somewhat slightly deeper into the training ground as there'd be a somewhat large pond as Husum would somewhat just kind of stand at my reply. Cat would go, well, Naruto. Not Naruto, wrong name, Ruby. Well then, Ruby, she'd then explain to me obviously how to walk on water. So I'd try my idea out first, which was the same way as like the by version of tree walking, which was sending tendrils of chakra out to wrap around the atoms. So this time, of course, when I did it, of course, water is a fluid, and as such, it's quite easy to break the bonds between them. So yeah, I'd somewhat lifted my foot up a bit, and while water somewhat came to match it, I somewhat would just sigh before cutting the flow of chakra as the water then somewhat fell, and Cat gone, what did you do that? You know the way I explained to you how I stuck to the tree the first time around? Cat would someone nod and go, hi. I just tried that here, and cause water's a fluid and not a solid, I somewhat instead brought the water to match my foot, and whilst it may be a way to possibly stick onto it, it may not be the best. So yeah, so I'd somewhat try that way of doing it, and after putting my foot on it and getting it to somewhat the right level, too much and my leg would just be obviously hovering off of it, and too little and my leg would be right through it. I've fun balancing and doing the same thing with my left leg again. Right leg, left, right, whatever, leg. I'd be standing somewhat on the water shakily, and I would slowly gain confidence and walking on the water, and yeah. Yeah, so after 10 or so minutes of doing that, I'd then somewhat come back and go, like what now? As well, yeah, they'd somewhat look up, and actually it'd take me longer to, or at least the amount, though that was the reason why I somewhat came back, was I'd go, I'd come back from somewhat my fun on the lake, as I'd proceeded, after I'd gotten quite confident on walking on the water, I'd proceeded to change the amount of chakra in my legs. That was shining into the soles of my feet, the bottom of my feet, the sandals more so specifically, and had somewhat upped it a bit to see what would happen with the waves somewhat stop. Could I send enough that I'd end up ice skating across it? And yeah, after a bit of trial, after somewhat a bit of slowly increasing chakra, I'd imagine I'd successfully somewhat did that. So for like an hour, for a good hour and a half, I was somewhat just kind of skating around obviously water like it was ice, and just having fun. I'd somewhat, when I'd come back in, and would go, now I'm kind of hungry, as here's when we'd look up and go, it's midday lunchtime. As he'd go, as he'd somewhat wonder, as he'd somewhat shrug and go, well, I know a place you might say like to go. What's that? Ichiraku ramen. What's that? Well, it's a type of food, as Cat would go somewhat face palmers. Should go, Hokage-sama, she's asking what Ichiraku ramen is, not ramen. What ramen is it somewhat blink and would go, as in slightly, as it go, right, well, ramen is a type of, it explained to me what ramen is, though I don't know. And they then explained what Ichiraku ramen is, which was just a store that they always stand that cooked and sold ramen. So I'd somewhat just nod, and he'd put his hand on me. Sure, I was that good sunshine, although I had no idea where it was, and I did. Well, I knew what it looked like, I didn't know where it was, and that would be absolutely useless for the sunshine, because it required the knowledge on where a place is. So, yeah. After a couple of seconds, I'll be outside. In a swirl of leaves, would arrive at Ichiraku ramen. It then proceeds to somewhat walk in with Cat following him, and I would quickly follow them in. As a person would go, and somewhat smile, go, Hokage-sama, it's nice to see you, Anbi-san, and oh, who is this? Is this a new customer? Is, well, who's in mid put my hand on, well, on my, shoulder, yes, shoulder, and somewhat, well, smile with a nod and go, yeah, this here is, well, Ruby. And whilst we don't exactly know where she came from, that just she fell out of the sky shy of 3 hours ago, around 3-4 hours ago. Well, yeah, around say around 2 hours, 2.5 hours ago. Well, no, around 3 hours ago. Yeah. She, the person would somewhat nod and go, well, hi there, Ruby, I'm called, IMA. As I'd somewhat just nod and go, hi there. And she'd just somewhat smile as she then look to Husen and go, so, Hokage-sama, what will be your order? As Husen go, my usual. She'd somewhat just nod, would look at the amber, and Cat would tell Aime what she wanted. I wouldn't know. And she'd somewhat look at me, and I'd go, do you have chicken and mushroom ramen? Chicken and mushroom ramen is. She'd somewhat just nod and write that down. And would somewhat look at me as I'd go, as Husen would go, he would lean and go, how many poles do you want? I said, yeah. I was like, well, no. Husen would go, and to make that a somewhat small bowl, as she's never had it before, so just best, obviously, to try, let her try it first. She'd somewhat just nod. They'd be thinking, yeah, right, old man. Well, I'd somewhat thinking, well, I have had it, though, by a different name, though it meant the exact same thing. But, yeah. And yes, for those who are curious, yes, well, ramen isn't what we'd call it here in the UK. It's called pot noodle, so if you're coming from Japan or anywhere else in the world that calls it ramen, for us here in the UK, instant ramen, which is the pot, well, not bowls, but pots of ramen, it'd be called pot noodle. And if you want a instant bowl of ramen, it's called noodle bowl, I think. So anyway, yeah. But yeah, I like somewhat chicken and mushroom instant ramen. Yeah. Anyway, back into the what if. After Pearson had got his, Cat had gotten hers, and I'd gotten mine, I'd somewhat looked at the chopsticks, and they'd looked at Arme and proceeded to ask Arme if I could have a fork, as my parents had never taught me how to use chopsticks. So it'd somewhat just nod and would ask, or at least, though, before she could even ask the question, I'd say, they're dead. I should go wide-eyed and just go, you don't worry, you didn't know. She'd somewhat just nod, though. She'd somewhat feel at least a bit sad. So yeah. Anyway, after giving me a fork, I'd somewhat eat it, and then somewhat look at her and go, more please. And she'd somewhat nod and go, and, well, yeah. Well, 10 bowls of I don't actually eat that many. I can only eat one somewhat instant ramen cup. Though I'd presume if I am actually hungry, well, really hungry, then I could probably eat maybe 3 or 4. Maybe more, not 100% sure. Anyway, yeah. Though being an Uzumaki, obviously having high chakra reserves, and thus obviously somewhat obviously what I eat would be transformed into energy and also chakra energy as well. Or well, chakra as well. To replenish my reserves. Which is yeah. Anyway. So after that we then we then headed back off to the Hokage to his office, the Hokage Tower, so that because his clone had popped, sending him back the information that the clone had chosen out of somewhat all the available apartments. That there were 3 apartments. All 3 of them were 2 bedroom and all had a walk-in wardrobe. So yeah, the last one was a somewhat much kind of bigger, like main bedroom compared to the other 2. Anyway, so we'd go down to I'd ask Susan why after we'd somewhat leave, after Hazen had paid and we'd leave, I'd look at Hazen and go, so where are we going now, old man? As he'd somewhat smile and go, I'm gonna head back to my office first, so that I can pick up 3 things, and those 3 things are there's some things about like 3 different apartments. 3 different apartments. I know. You pick one out of the 3, okay? It's just like those 3 my clone had chosen as the best out of all the available ones that you may like the most of. Just go, okay. And after going to the office and going to the first one was okay, though it somewhat overall was a bit small, so no to that one. Second one was again okay, though it somewhat looked a bit kind of old, slightly run down, like the last people weren't exactly the clean, like it wasn't exactly really that clean, and it was, the building itself was more run down, so yeah, it'd be a pass, though depending on the state on the third one, I'd probably have to take the second or even the first one, though the third one seemed very much new, as I'd go, whoa, that it looks new, isn't it? Say as I'd nod, yeah. Is it, old man? As it'd go, yeah, it was, I think, just finished. It states here that it was finished, a month ago. As there's weird, he was in tell the, I'm presuming, because I was being the leader, who'd have the keys, or would they all have their own different landlord? I'm not sure. Anyway, we'd walk in and Houston would look at me as I'd go, can I have this one, please? Houston would somewhat nod and go, well, now then, what type of, say, bed would you like? Would you like it? I know most people somewhat like a somewhat nice kind of like bed. I was like, could I have a double bed? As Husen would somewhat blink and go, okay. And yeah, what about the spare bedroom? Oh, I'm gonna leave that empty for right now. Husen would somewhat just nod at that, and yeah, then I'd ask him if I could have the Uzumaki clan spiral on the wall over the bed. And Husen would Bosley would go, yeah, of course. And yeah, and then, well, yeah, no, well, the only thing that was actually somewhat kind of missing was a bed. Well, yeah. Well, no, it had a bed though, it was okay bed. Though he could somewhat tell I wanted a better bed, so that's why. Anyway, yeah, after that, we'd somewhat then would leave as we'd then somewhat go around to get food as we'd first go around and get some food. Well, yeah, after getting food and somewhat stocking up for that, and obviously getting other stuff like obviously toothbrush, toothpaste, toiletries, that stuff. After getting all of those and food and that, he'd then look at me and say, and obviously clothes were next. And yeah, after going to a couple of somewhat stores and getting a couple of different clothes, underwear, shoes, he'd then somewhat take me to a ninja store due to the fact, we'd somewhat go in and he would introduce me to the person. After that, he would then ask the person at the front desk if I could have 20. Yeah, if I could have 40 kunai and 40 shuriken, 20 and a somewhat kunai pouch. So I'd look at Husen and ask if I could instead have 2. Husen would look at me a bit puzzled, but would just nod. Yeah, and then he'd somewhat tell me to look throughout the store, and I would. And after somewhat picking out some some clothes that I'd somewhat like wear for my outfit to go to the academy, and I already have an idea on what my actual how my Kunoichi outfit would look like, but yeah. Anyway, after that, and somewhat collecting the 2 pouches, I'd ask Husen if I could have a somewhat Funjutsu kind of kit, as he would somewhat I'd ask them about kind of the different possibilities with chakra, as he'd explained to me there was the ability to enhance your Mao Tai Jutsu, which was hand-to-hand combat, then ninjutsu, which somewhat obviously used it to do obviously the Senshin spit fireballs and whatever, shoot lightning from your fingers, my stomach, that type of thing. And yeah, and it somewhat mentioned Funjutsu, but didn't really go into somewhat depth. Not really. Well, he guessed I may want to go into it, but he didn't exactly know. So yeah, after obviously asking somewhat if the person sounds that rich, the person had nodded and had somewhat quickly got one and had tallied it up with who's of course paying for it. And then with new clothing and that, it somewhat went back to my apartment, and Houston somewhat looked at the time and could see it was around somewhat nearing 3 o'clock, and knowing the academy somewhat ended around that, someone looked at me and Kat and said, well, I'd like you to introduce you to someone, so how about we go to the academy and I'd go, and plus I can somewhat introduce you to the teacher. So I'd go, I was somewhat hoping that you could, or maybe Kat lady here can take me to the library, plus maybe we could get to know someone like each other a bit better, considering we'll be with each other for at least a month. And plus, if you want to obviously show me this person or introduce me to this person, then you can come to the library with me. He was in mid bring that person to the library. Though to have an idea that he probably wants, obviously, introduce me to Naruto and obviously be that, and would somewhat obviously mention that he did in fact have a clan, though dead. Anyway, yeah. Here's him and just go, he'd look at Kat and Kat would somewhat just gesture that she's like, well, yeah. Kat would go, yeah, well, I don't mind her color summer. Houston had just nodded before going, well, I'll see you two then at the library. He then left, and Kat would then somewhat look at me as I'd go, so, to the library then, Cat Lady, as she was somewhat just sigh, I have a name, you know. Well, no, I didn't know you had a name. After all, I've only heard, the old man call you, Cat or Nico. Someone just sigh as she'd go, well, for one, there's a reason why, that, it's a code name, right, and that you shouldn't really be telling anyone that your true name, because if we were in any type of situation, we could end up revealing your real name and thus blowing your kind of career as an Anbu. As Cat would just would be surprised and would just nod. As I would somewhat look at her, I was like, I'm smarter than what I look like. Cat, as Cat would go, I can see that. I can see that, hear that you're smarter, and can very much understand that you're smarter, considering the ways you've explained to me how you've used chakra to stick to a tree, and how you practically controlled an entire lake with your foot by, in a way, an accident. But yeah, it was a somewhat nod. Nod. His car would then take off a mask. I said, go, what, you trust me that much that you're not, that you, it's like, well, his cat would just somewhat just look at me and go, well, we all have to start trusting someone, we all have to at least someone obviously give a certain amount of trust initially, so yeah. As I was somewhat just nod. Plus, obviously, well, yeah, you seem like someone who's not exactly going to tell anyone. So I just somewhat just nod. And plus, who can I tell? I've really got no friends, really. Well, I don't have any. His Cat would somewhat just nod and go, well, firstly, as you already know, Ruby Uzumaki. My code name, my somewhat Anbu code name is Cat, though my real name must remain a secret, so please do not tell anyone. I promise I won't. Can't read somewhat just nod and go, well, my real name is Yuzuki? Damn it, I can never pronounce it. Can't say her last name. But yeah. I just nod and somewhat hold out my small somewhat hand as I should quickly realise I'm somewhat hold my hand as I'd shake it and go, nice to meet you, Yugal. Yugal would probably set my hand back and say, well, it's nice to meet you too, Ruby, as I go, well, now then, off to the library, cat lady, as she would somewhat just sigh as she'd go, yeah. And, well, after that though, and, well, yeah, we'd then somewhat end up sunshine. Well, you go and put a hand on me, though she'd slip a mask back on, and would sunshine to the library. After entering, she'd somewhat then look at me and go, you go to one, well, no, we'd sit down at a table and she'd go, you stay here and I'll go and get you, some of the level 1 in Frinjutsu. I would just nod and she'd somewhat then proceed to walk up and disappear in the masses. And yeah, a couple of seconds to a minute or so later, Yugal would be, or Cat in this case right now, would be back. And yeah, she'd then would give me the level 1 in kind of Konoha's Frinjutsu. And yeah. And 40 minutes later, Hiruzen would be right in front of the library with some others, saying, oh, come on, really? The library? The person you want me to meet is in the library, Gigi? As Hiruzen would somewhat just sigh and go, yes, Naruto, the person I want you to meet is in the library. Great. And I personally love books, as Hiruzen would go, and what do you have against books, Naruto? As Naruto going, nothing, it's just what? As Naruto would just go, would somewhat look around, go, nothing. Hiruzen would somewhat crack an eyebrow, though wouldn't push Naruto. And yeah, he'd somewhat put a hand on him and go, come on then. Don't remember, you have to be quiet in the library. And Naruto would just nod and yeah, he'd walk in with Hiruzen, and Hiruzen would quickly spot Kat, Nico, and me. Yeah. And after somewhat sitting down at the table, Kat would somewhat just look at me and, Hiruzen and Kat and Naruto would somewhat just look at me as I was just somewhat reading the book, as I'd go, I'll talk to you in a second, I've got a page left of the book, as Hiruzen would somewhat just slightly sweat drop, and he'd go, so you know I'm here. Yeah, I knew you was here the second you appeared outside of the somewhat front doors of the library. And yeah, at that, damn it. Hiruzen and Cat would realise I'm a sensor type. And they possibly naturally born sensor type at that. Yeah, Naruto would just be confused on how. And yeah, I'd then close the book at finally reading the last page and would set it down and would go, so this is the person you wanted to introduce to me, so someone go, yes, this person right here is Naruto, and Naruto, this person here is Ruby. As Naruto somewhat just hold out his hand as somewhat grab it and shake his hand as it go, well, I'm Naruto Uzumaki. It's nice to meet you. As I'd somewhat just nod and I'd go, well, it's nice to meet you, Naruto. I'm Ruby Uzumaki. As Naruto would go wide-eyed as he'd look at Hiruzen, and Hiruzen would go, about that Naruto, as he'd proceed to explain to Naruto about the Uzumaki clan, and that once he did in fact have a clan, though it's possibly dead and with possibly the last two people alive, as he didn't know if there were any more Uzumakis out there. Though Naruto was somewhat sad to know that, though he was somewhat happy to at least know that he had a cousin, me, as I am a full-blooded Uzumaki, he's a half. And yeah, though I'd somewhat look at him and somewhat look at Hiruzen and go, well, there is one other Uzumaki alive, though she doesn't go by the last name of Uzumaki. He's a mid-quack and eyebrow, and it'd go, who? As I'd look at him and go, I think she's called Tsunade Senju, as Hiruzen would go wide-eyed and would somewhat just face palm out, forgetting about hers. Naruto would go, wait, as it go wide-eyed as he'd look at Hiruzen, as Hiruzen would just go, I forgot about that. Yes, Naruto, you are, well, yes, before you ask, Naruto, yes, Mito Uzumaki, you are related Uzumaki clan. Naruto would somewhat just slightly nod, so I'm related to the first Hokage, as I'd go, well, no, as it'd go, her, but you're not related to the first, you're related to Mito, not the first Hokage. The first was Hashirama Senju, as Mito Uzumaki and Hashirama Senju did marry. That doesn't make you a relative of him, it just means that you are related to Mito Uzumaki, and thus Mito's grandkids, which one is Tsunade Senju, which is currently alive and is currently known as the strongest kunoichi, or at least the best medic in the world, is the ninja world has ever seen. Hiruzen would just somewhat nod at that and wouldn't exactly be surprised, because she was obviously very much well known, and I presume that my parents, before their death, probably at least told me about them, or about Tsunade and the Sanin, and that we are somewhat related. So yes, and yeah, and with that, I'm gonna end it here, guys. So if you have somewhat enjoyed this what if, tell me in the comments down below, and would you like a part 2? If you do, then not next week, so it'd be yes, if you'd like this as a recurring what if, and what I mean by that, so instead of it being chosen by a poll, like if you guys really want this to be, hey, I want this to be a what if, hey, I want this to be like a part I can watch every other week, then yeah, Tuesday the 25th, So yeah, so October, Tuesday the 25th will be the next time this part comes up. If you guys want a part 2 and really want this to be obviously a what if you guys want. Anyway guys, so yes, of course if you do want this, tell me in the comments down below, and hope you guys have enjoyed this, and yeah, have a good day or night, depending on wherever you are, stay safe, and yeah guys, good bye. Well, I can't really do it, I'm tired, so good bye guys, stay safe.